All right. Welcome to another edition of Bullheaded. This is episode 25. I'm your host, Sean Tyson, here with Zoo and Peebush. What's up, fellas?
Doing well, man. Watched Trubisky outplay Mahomes and Watson last week, so I'm pretty pumped about that.
Oh, my God. He had a nice week. You getting hyped about that? You guys going to make playoffs?
It's make or break. It's make or break. Whoever wins this Bears-Vikings game has a chance to fight the Cardinals for that last spot in the playoffs.
And you know what Trubisky's going to do. He's going to lose, man.
I think he's going to do it.
Okay, you have your faith again. I'll be betting against the Bears like always because you know what the Bears can do. They're going to disappoint like always. So, man.
They absolutely crushed. They crushed Deshaun Watson. They crushed him.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I was surprised, man. I was surprised because as a Deshaun Watson fantasy owner, it cost me a playoff game. So, yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
Bear down, baby.
Oh, man. Oh, such a sad week for Deshaun.
It has been a sad year for Deshaun. He's had a lot of, I think, situations not go his way. Starting off with DeAndre getting traded. This has been downhill from there. Hopefully he can get another number one. But we'll talk about football at a later date. Right now we're going to get into the NBA. And everybody's seen the huge news with Giannis. You know, he got the super max, I'd like to call it. 5-year, I think 225, 228, somewhere in the million.
Man.
Yeah.
The biggest contract in NBA history.
Crazy. Like, super deal. Happy for Giannis. He stayed in Milwaukee. I think a lot of people who are fans of like small market teams kind of saw that as a good avenue for, I guess, other teams or other players who are coming up to do the same thing. But I wanted to ask the guys about Giannis and the deal. I guess I could pose a question like, do you think Giannis would stay the entire 5 years? Do you think he's worth the Supermax? We can go all kind of ways with this question. And Peebush, I'm going to start with you.
This is a tough one. I was actually genuinely surprised that this happened just because, and we've talked about it, you know, in past podcasts, but possible destinations, whether, you know, the Heat were in play, whether he might go out into the Western Conference, possibly teaming up with the Warriors. But I think that at the end of the day, it was like all the contending teams that he wanted to go to, you know, made certain moves or decisions, whatever it may be, that kind of gave you the idea that they weren't trying to sign a guy who's asking for a nearly $230 million contract. So I think he was like, okay, they brought in Drew Holiday. I thought that was huge. That was a big move for the Bucks. Like, even though they gave up a lot,
their entire future, pretty much.
Yeah, this guy. And they did kind of mess up that whole Bogdan, you know.
That was embarrassing. They leaked it. They leaked it to up.
Yeah, and they tried to get the buzz going, but this is big for Giannis. But now that I think about it, you know, he's very like, this team took a chance on him. I don't think anyone thought he would, you know, I wouldn't say like technically a chance, but I think that
late first rounder.
He was a late first rounder. Like, you know, it wasn't like he was a top 5 guy. It wasn't a lottery pick. Small market team, yes, but I really say the only other big name guy in a while to sign and re-sign with a small market is Tim Duncan, probably in San Antonio. That's probably a big one. Not many others come straight to the head, but I don't know. I mean, I think he's worth it. I mean, he's a reigning MVP. I personally think he'll win again this coming year. He'll win his 3rd MVP in a row. But is he going to stay for 5 years? Who knows? They might try and trade him, but it's hard to trade a guy who's making $45 million a year. As we see,
ain't trading Giannis.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, what else would he do? He doesn't have he can't opt out.
Yeah, he's an opt out in his 5th year.
So he's stuck for 4, right?
He's 4 years. You know, 4 years guaranteed with the Bucks.
But I don't know if this is going to keep them. I think that they'll be the 1 or 2 seed in the East this year. I don't think they're going to obviously regress. I think they got better, I would say, compared to some other teams. But the East is starting to look decent. So I don't know. I mean, it's worth it. He's a 2-time MVP. You're going to have to pay him.
Oh, he's absolutely worth it. He's absolutely worth it. Supermax contract for this guy, I think, is a bargain. 228. You know, I'm not the biggest Giannis fan. No jump shot, no mid-range, no free throw, no three-point shot. The guy's shooting air balls in preseason games right now. Preseason games. There's no pressure, and the boy's shooting air balls like it's last year. So this guy has not improved at all. He was vacationing in Greece, having a good time with the family, setting some goals, want to have some kids in the next 5 years. Mine's off doing other things right now. Obviously not in the gym shooting jump shots, but 228 for this guy, they're set up. So right now you got 4 years of Giannis right now. They got to re-sign Drew Holiday since they gave up so many draft picks to get this guy. And he's an all-star caliber player in the East, especially in the East.
Especially in the East.
Especially in the East. He could definitely make an all-star team. Chris Middleton, not the biggest fan, but as a third option, he's a good third option.
Exactly.
He can average like 16, 17 points, be the defender, hit an open three, maybe even create some shots for the teammates when Giannis is down low. So with their complementary of players, he's irrelevant.
He can shoot, and he kind of complements Giannis in that way.
Yeah, he can shoot.
Rebound.
Yeah, he's a stretch five.
Him and Giannis are in the wrong bodies when you really think about it. Brook likes to play on the perimeter now, and Giannis absolutely cannot at all. So they kind of complement each other in that sense, and I think that's always been a big thing, especially defensively for that group, because they are the best defensive team in the league.
Yeah, he's perfect because as a five, obviously you got one guy on the court not being able to shoot the three, that's okay, and surrounding him with four shooters, and as Brook Lopez at the center position is perfect fit. But man, they got the guard, they got an all-star caliber guard, they have an all-star caliber big in Giannis. I think he's a big in my opinion. He's more of a power forward than a small forward. And then you got a complementary small forward in Chris Middleton. Like, they got a roster, especially in the East. They got to make the NBA Finals. They got to make the NBA Finals. KD's coming off catastrophic injury, so he won't be 100%. And Kyrie Irving's a knucklehead. So they got to get their chemistry down together, even though I think that's the most talented team in the East. And if their heads on right, they should make it. But this team has chemistry. They're only adding one additional player and pretty much the same exact team returning again. And they got to get it done. Like, Giannis, like 25, 26 years old. He's in his prime right now. Like,
he may not have even hit it yet. He may not have even hit it.
I think he hit it. I think that jump shot is just broken because every time I see him shoot it, the form is gone, man. Like, LaMelo Ball is the 10 times better three-point shooter than Giannis Antetokounmpo, which is pretty sad. So, like, right now, man, like, Giannis, this is the year. Because I think Miami will not have that great of a season. Because it's just hard to go to NBA Finals 2 years in a row. Only guys like LeBron make it look so easy, man. Going to the finals like the LeBron James Invitational, but for these other Eastern Conference teams, if they make one finals appearance, throw a parade for the team, man. Toronto, hallelujah, one finals appearance. Miami, oh my Lord, we made it to the finals. So I'm saying it's going to be another East team. It's going to be one of these teams that haven't made it before because making back-to-back, it is challenging, especially the wear and tear on your body. What?
The Celtics?
I don't know about the Celtics, man. They lost Gordon Hayward and they added Tristan Thompson. So it's like a net nothing, right? Like Tristan Thompson, man.
There's more drama with the Kardashians.
Yeah, Kardashian. That was about to say, man. Like, my Lord, Jesus, this guy, he's irrelevant. Like, he's a nice role player. I don't know. They pay him as much as Montrezl Harrell, which is, I think, is crazy because Montrezl, I think, is a lot better of a player than Tristan Thompson. Absolutely. But they added Tristan Thompson, so I think the Celtics are just like whatever, right? You got the Heat. I don't think they're gonna make it. Toronto, definitely not. So I think it was between Milwaukee and the Brooklyn Nets. It's their season to get it. So let's Giannis get it done. I want to see 30 points. I want to see 35 minutes a game at least, man. And I want him to have a takeover mentality when his team is doing nothing. Because you got 228 now. You got 228. That means you got more responsibility now. You were MVP. He was actually super underpaid because he signed his max in the previous collective bargaining, right? Yeah. So his max contract wasn't that big. But 228, time to win a title now. Time to win a title.
He has to. I mean, he's got to bring it in for him. But then again, the only way that they could actually get rid of him is by trading him, and that's going to be extremely difficult. So the Bucks are kind of stuck with him, but it's a happy stuck. At the moment, it's a very happy stuck because they clearly brought enough in around him, convinced him enough with whatever they did to make him stay. And I think that's impressive on the fact of the Bucks organization. So I do have to give them a shout out on that one. They have great coaching too. I think a lot of people, adding Drew Holiday to the position in which your defensive ability was at its worst was huge. Like, that was absolutely huge on already the number one defensive team in the league, and they added arguably the best perimeter point guard defender, whatever you want to call him, in the league in Drew Holiday. And that was an absolute step up over Eric Bledsoe.
my hatred of Eric Bledsoe.
I know.
He's a scrub.
Yeah.
He's a scrub. No other words.
High flyer back in the day.
Yeah, I think Eric Bledsoe is definitely was not the piece for Giannis. Only thing I'm kind of worried about with the Bucks is I don't know, like I know they brought in like the Forbes guy and like DJ Augustine. Those are like really small guys. Yeah, they're like small guys. Like I do like Drew and Torrey. Like Torrey Craig is on the roster too, because like I think that's gonna help. That's gonna help them like with the wings, like with Boston and Miami, like give them free space to like Giannis to do whatever, and hopefully those guys around him can make shots. I'm not sure how Torrey can really shoot, but I know Drew's a really good shooter, and he can D up. So I don't know, but the Bucks do have to make the finals. Like there's no excuses. Like I know KD's coming back, but I just feel like with Brooklyn, man, they just Kyrie and all that drama. Like I don't think KD can overcome that. But I need Giannis. He's got to get to the finals, man. He's got to get there. But we're going to switch gears to the NBA predictions. So we're going to go through a couple of teams. I think I'm pretty sure all of the teams have played preseason games so far. The rookies have gotten in. A lot of the stars haven't played back-to-backs or many minutes at all. I've watched a couple. I've seen like the Lakers, actually watched a little bit of the Orlando Magic. Really like Cole Anthony. But I wanted to ask the guys who they think, is going to make, I guess, hay with playoffs and wins throughout the season and all that type of stuff. So, Zoo, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I'm looking at the East right now, and I'm seeing some potential new playoff teams. As a proud Chicago Bulls fan, with the play-in tournament this year, all you got to do is be a top 10 seed, and you have an opportunity to make the playoffs, right? They got an opportunity right now. And after watching my Chicago Bulls play some preseason games, I think they actually have a legitimate opportunity this year, right? Because my thoughts about the Orlando Magic. I don't know how they keep making it this year, every year in the playoffs. Yeah, Vucevic and Evan Fournier and whatever. They're not making it this year. They're out. Orlando Magic fans, I'm sorry. The Magic Kingdom is over. They're getting shut down, and I got Orlando getting kicked out. So I'm looking at my options right now. And the two biggest options I think that are going to make the playoffs, the Washington Wizards and the Chicago Bulls, right? The Washington Wizards, obviously with Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. You got two All-Stars. Two All-Stars. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
With those two guys on your team.
Yes. Dude, Bradley Beal averaged 30.
I'd take the Hawks over them.
What? Yo, you did not just say that. We got a bet? We got a bet right now. Chipotle.
Fine.
Chipotle. Let's go, Russell Westbrook. Let's go, Bradley Beal.
We'll have a better record than Washington.
Them, man. You think Trae Young with Danilo Gallinari and Bogdanovic going to make the playoffs? First year, no chemistry.
Kungwe, dude, too. They added him in the draft.
Oh, my God. He's going to be a nice role player. Nothing special, man. Irrelevant, especially their first year as a center position. Irrelevant. Rondo. Oh, my God. Rondo doesn't do anything in the regular season. He got to make the playoffs. Man, Trae Young doesn't need mentor. Trae Young's already been
the reason is because they're going to make the playoffs. That's why they added him.
Well, they better. They paid Danilo $20+ million a year. They paid Bogdanovic $70 million total contract. That's a lot of bread going out to nice players. They're nice starter players. They're really good starters. But okay, you got the ATL.
Can you name the other three starters on the Wizards?
Shout out to my boy Indiana Hoosier, Thomas Bryant.
Okay.
Yep. That's all I care about. I don't care. I got my guards. I got my center. That's all I need. Because do you know why? Russell Westbrook will be dropping 25, 10, and 10, and Bradley Beal will be dropping 25 points. So I'll be having two guys.
What's the defense?
Defense? What are you talking about? Defense in the East? You don't need to play much defense. All you got to be doing is dropping 110. You'll get in the playoffs. Yeah, man, the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards, man, they are loaded with this backcourt. This is an all-star backcourt.
And that's literally it. Like, they have no depth, and they have no third option. Hell, they don't even have a third option that is worth a fifth option. He's worth a sixth option in Thomas Bryant.
Oh man, I forgot to shout out my man Davis Bertans, the white sniper from the DC area. You got these 2 stars. You got a big that can stretch the floor. You kidding me? He's gonna be able to open shots all day. The Washington Wizards.
I have them making the play-in game, but I'm saying that I think the Hawks will have a higher seed than them.
But we're talking about who's gonna make it after the play-in.
They're both gonna make it. They're gonna be 9-10. I have Bulls at 8. I have the Bulls making
you got Bulls in the playoffs?
Bulls at the 8.
But you have ATL winning the play-in to get in.
Do I have what?
You have Atlanta winning the play-in to get in.
No.
Who do you have then?
Wizards.
Oh, you do have the Wizards.
Yes, but I'm saying that the Hawks will have a better record, actually. Because I think that Bradley Beal and Russell will have a hard time getting along at the beginning. I think that's going to be their – it's kind of a less – it's not as drama-heavy version of the Nets. I think that's kind of how they're going to be. And hell, that's if Harden were to be traded to the Sixers, that's how it would kind of be with like Harden and Embiid. I think when 2 stars join, they have issues. And Bradley Beal always had issues with John Wall. I think
that is true. That is true. So
I don't think he's going to very much like, and apparently people in DC are saying that, having Russell in the area, the culture, I don't know. I just don't see it fitting. It was a very last minute desperation trade. And I think that put a little bit of wear on the Wizards organization, kind of scrambling. They're scrambling. And I don't think that's going to pay off. Whereas the Hawks have actually kind of been a little bit more calculated. They're calculating it out. And I think we're going to work more for them when it comes to like chemistry and meshing.
So you got them winning more games than the Washington Wizards.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's the bet then. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's the bet. Let's go, Russell. Triple-double machine.
But I do think the Nets, speaking still on the East, I do think the Nets are going to get the 1 or 2 seed.
Oh, that's actually a bold take, man. 1 seed? I don't see them getting the 1 seed.
No?
They got chemistry. Like the first 10 to 20 games, you got to get the chemistry down, especially with so many ball-dominant scores. I think the Bucks are getting the 1 seed because they always get the 1 seed. Budenholzer loves the 1 seed. Never gets done in the playoffs, but he always gets the 1 seed.
If they don't get 1, I think they're going to get 2. I think it's going to be them and the Bucks going for it. But I agree with you only because I think they're kind of going to have a start similar to what Miami had in first year with LeBron. They started what, like 8-9 or something like that? 9-8.
They were 500.
They started pretty slow. There's 10 less games this season, so that's a little bit less, margin for error, a little bit more quote unquote worth per game if you're looking at it that way. So I don't know. I think they could get off to a slightly slow start, also because of injuries, but chemistry as well. So that's really probably my 2 biggest takes on the Eastern Conference. What do you think about the West, though, Zoo?
Western Conference, man, obviously OKC is tanking, so there's an available playoff spot right there. So I'm looking at my options, right? Obviously, you got the Golden State Warriors up there in the list. Even without Klay Thompson, Golden State is viable. I even got a shout out to Zion Williamson's team with the Pelicans, with Brandon Ingram. They are viable to get this playoff spot. And also, my pick of the year, the Phoenix Suns, right? The Phoenix Suns are vying for a playoff spot. So I would say there's 3 legitimate contenders trying to get into the playoffs, right? And obviously, I got OKC out right now. So
they're going to be last in the West. I think they're going to be the worst team in the Western Conference.
Really? Oh yeah, they're tanking. Yeah, they're tanking. Yeah, they're tanking. So that makes a lot of sense. But I also got the Grizzlies. They out. They ain't gonna be close this year again. They had a miracle season to even make it to the play-in tournament, man. They got no chance this year.
They'll be the 10th seed.
Oh, you think they're gonna make 10? Oh yeah, 10 seed. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, but for me, I gotta go with the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
The Phoenix Suns with CP3 and Devin Booker, man, with DeAndre Ayton. That is pretty close to a big 3. You got 2 of the 3. DeAndre, I got to still see him prove himself to become an all-star quality center. But that roster, the shooting, the basketball IQ, the skill of that backcourt, I think they fit really, really well. He could be like the Rockets 2.0 with CP3 and Harden, but CP3 with Devin Booker.
Damn. I mean, I actually have the Suns finishing with a better win total than the Warriors this year.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
I do. I think that I mean, not saying that the Warriors aren't going to make the playoffs. I think they still will, but I think after watching them play a bit and, obviously seeing Klay Thompson get injured and just seeing how Steph Curry has tried to lead the team by himself in the past, I don't know. He can win games, obviously. We know that. He's one of the best point guards in the league, if not the best. But I see them kind of regressing this year. I also see the Nuggets regressing a bit this year, partially because of a guy that Sean shouted out earlier in Troy Craig. They lost Jeremy Grant, too. Those are their two primary wing defenders, and now they're going to rely it all on Michael Porter Jr.
Porter Jr.'s got to play defense.
He can fill the offense. There's no doubt about that. But he's one of the worst defensive players in the league, rating-wise. He's one of the worst defensive players in the league. And they're putting all that weight. And the Nuggets won games and made it to the conference finals because of their defense. They kept themselves in because of offense, but they got over the hump because of their defense. And I think that losing those two guys was huge. I still think they'll make the playoffs, maybe like the 7th seed, maybe the 6th seed as well. But I have the Mavs as probably my biggest pick. I have them coming in at the number 2 seed this year.
Number 2 seed?
The Los Angeles Lakers, yep.
Interesting.
And the Clippers at 3. And then the Rockets probably maybe around the 5th spot if things are looking the way it seems to be, and if Harden's not traded. That's a big if right now.
Yeah, that's a big if right there. I don't even know how to classify the Rockets, but I'm assuming Harden's going to stay for the beginning of the year. So even if he gets traded, I think they're going to get Ben Simmons. So I think that's still a playoff team right there, even though it might be a weird fit with John Wall.
John Wall?
Yeah, it'll be a weird fit, but they'll figure it out. I don't care. If you get Ben Simmons and you get rid of James Harden, the guy that doesn't want to be there, that's a win. As a consolation. That's like when they lost Anthony Davis and you got Brandon Ingram. That's a win. You lost a superstar that didn't want to stay there, and you got a guy that made an all-star team the year he joined the roster.
Comes in, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and in the West, that's a real all-star, not those fake all-stars in the East. So they got some nice consolation prizes, man, which is real nice, man. Well, but man, if the Warriors miss again, man, I don't know, man. Steph Curry's got to go lower on my rankings of NBA players. You gotta make the playoffs. You gotta make the playoffs. You gotta make the playoffs, man.
I agree. I think they'll make it, especially with the play-in game. I hope. I don't know. I mean, I could see the Suns making the 6th spot and the Warriors getting 7 or 8. Honestly, I could see
who you got out then. Who you got out then? Obviously, OKC's out, but you got to knock out another playoff team. And it's hard to knock them out. So you got the LA teams. You got Denver, Rockets, Jazz.
I think if anything, I know that I'm taking a leap saying the Rockets will make it, but if things don't mesh well, I see them dropping out. I think that'll be a big one. Mm-hmm. Thunder obviously is a big one. The Blazers, I'm iffy about. The Blazers. When it comes to a top 6 seed, I don't think that they'll make it.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't.
You think it'll be in the play-in tournament?
Yeah, maybe. They were in the play-in tournament, technically last year too, and obviously they knocked off the Grizzlies. But I don't know. My picks for the conference finals are Heat, Nets, and Lakers, Mavs.
Heat, Nets. Oh, you got the Heat again.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to put in I'm putting in the Bucks in this year, man. I'm putting the Bucks in this year. They'll make it to the conference finals.
Drew?
Yes, Drew Holiday. Yes, Drew Holiday was slapped.
And satisfied Giannis.
Yeah. You got Giannis on his fat contract. They're gonna make the conference finals. If they don't, Bud, you gotta go. You're getting fired. I'm sorry. I'm paying you to
Bud's
leave.
gotta go.
I'm paying you to leave. But you gotta make conference finals. And who you got in the West?
In the East. Lakers, Mavs. And then Lakers obviously advancing.
Interesting.
I have the Nets advancing though and losing in 6 to the Lakers.
Okay, yeah. We both you got Lakers winning, right? Because it's so obvious.
As of right now, but dude, that's what even with if I watch the Nets play and they're next level, I would be very interested to see them play a series against the Lakers. Because LeBron can't stop KD. It's one of the only guys
who's gonna stop Taylor Horton Tucker?
He's dropping buckets, man. He's dropping points in limited minutes, man. Limited minutes. He's dropping buckets. I think he'll be the Caruso of this year, man. The guy that comes out of nowhere and provides a spark plug off the bench. But yeah, I think Lakers gonna repeat.
Who do you have out of the East though? You have the Bucks?
I can't pick the Bucks. I'm picking the Nets. I'm picking the Nets. I'm picking KD and Kyrie, man, because I like the talent too much, man. I can't pick the Bucks. They'll make it to the conference finals, so okay, that's actually pretty decent. Final 4 teams, but Kevin Durant, that dude's back. That dude's back.
He's bad.
An animal. He's an animal, man.
I do think they'll still have the best record. Speaking on the Bucks, and Giannis will win his 3rd straight MVP.
No way! You just say that? You're picking Giannis for MVP?
No way.
Luka Doncic.
Yeah, that's who I got.
Luka Doncic, man. I'm picking Luka for MVP right now, man.
Yep.
It really depends if the Mavs get up to the 2nd seed. It depends where the Bucks are in the East. If they're the number 1 seed and the best record in the NBA, and Giannis puts up MVP type numbers, he's going to win again.
I don't see that.
You want to bet? You pick Giannis, I pick Luka.
Let's get a couple regular season games in first, and then
no. Preseason bets.
Preseason?
Let's go. I'm picking the Don, and you pick the Greek Freak.
Sure, $10.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Oh my God.
Come on, Luka. I believed in you. You dropped the game winner on the Clippers. Ride that momentum, and let's get the number 2 seed, and you getting that MVP trophy, man. MVP.
Dude, number 2 seeds very rarely don't win MVP. It's
number
just
2 seed.
Derrick Rose won the year the Bulls were the number 1 seed, best record in the NBA.
I give you that. The number 1 seed usually has the MVP.
The only reason LeBron didn't win that year.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook won. He won the number 1 seed.
Yeah, that is true. He had a triple.
That's true, but he had a triple double.
Yeah.
I don't. But Luka could. He could.
My boy Luka could do, man. He put up like 38 and 8, which is
you have
just
to do something extraordinary, or you have to be like on the best team, the best player, putting MVP. It's like one or the other.
And I'm telling you right now, I think the Lakers might do a little load management this year, man. So they might rest some players. So they might rest some players, so they're not going to be going after the number 1 seed. Gives Luka the opportunity to take it.
Or playoff P. Could redeem himself. He's satisfied.
Oh, yeah, that brother got paid $226, man. He's getting paid $2 million less than Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Crazy. That is crazy.
Think of that, man. Think of that. That's a lot of money, man. But I don't know, man. Jerry West could flip him anytime. Sure. There's no loyalties in the NBA. Look what they did with Blake Griffin.
That's a fact. Yeah, that's a definite fact. Going back to the Eastern Conference playoff picture, I think I'm kind of with P-Bush with the Atlanta, because I feel like Atlanta is going to get like a lot of like, because I think the Mavs like this year they're going to get a lot of people's best because they kind of like are the team that's like rising. I still feel like everybody looks at Atlanta like a joke, so I think they're going to sneak up on like people this year. So I think that's a chance for them to like actually. I think they could get like the.
You got Atlanta making the playoffs?
Yeah, I think they could.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
You want to bet, Sean?
Yeah, I already. What did people say? They're gonna. They'd be the 9 or 10
record than the Wizards, but I'm not saying that they'll win in whichever way.
I got it.
Reason the plan. I don't think that they'll win and go further than the Wizards, but I could see them winning more regular season games.
Well, I don't know. I just got them being in the playoffs. Like, I don't think they're going to be like a bottom tier team. I don't think that. No, like, because what is it? The play-in is what, 9 or 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hawks will be a higher seed than the Wizards. But that doesn't mean, like, the Wizards could technically win a series, right?
See, I got the Wizards. I actually got the Wizards, like, they're going to be in the playoffs. Like, I don't think they're going to be, like, fighting for a 9-10. I don't think that at all.
No?
Yeah, I think they're going to be really good.
Because Denny, I don't know if y'all watched Denny Avdia, I think. He looks nice. So if he is, like, really good, like, that means they'll have at least 3 legitimate guys. And then you're going to have – you got to remember they still got – what was that, Bertans, and then they got there's another guy. I think that's it. But they're kind of nice.
Thomas
Bryant.
They
had one more guy. I don't know.
Thomas Bryant.
There's one more guy I feel like they had. Like Hachimura.
Oh, Rui Hachimura.
Yeah.
Rui Hachimura.
Yeah, that guy. So I don't know. I think they're gonna be like but
I don't know. I just don't see the 2 stars really complementing each other the way that people are hoping.
Yeah, it'll probably be. I guess it'll be a little weird because Russell. It don't matter where Russell goes.
And Russell Westbrook ain't much better.
I think Bradley can respect Russell's work ethic though. I think John, and I don't know what John was doing, so because I'm not an NBA insider, but I just feel like Russell Westbrook's like work ethic. I think Bradley. Now, games on the floor, I don't know. It might get weird. Because Russell, it don't matter where he goes, he's going to dominate the freaking team. So that's kind of how it goes with him. But we're going to go to this last topic with the NFL. They're wrapping up. They're probably about, I think a lot of teams have 2 to 3 games left. So it's getting ready to get down to the playoffs. And it's a lot of dark horses every year. You know, I think most of the public's looking at the Kansas City Chiefs as being like the overwhelming favorite. So I'm kind of going to ask the guys who they think is a team that could sneak in there and make a playoff run, or another favorite outside of KC that could come in and dominate the playoffs and make it to the Super Bowl. And P-Bush, I'm going to start with you on this one, man.
All right, Zoo, I might have to take down your Mr. King, Patrick Mahomes over here, though. But I think the Bills have a shot. And
I like Josh Allen. You know my feelings about Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen.
This is tough because I think that I don't like the Steelers. I really don't. They can't run the ball, which is insane because they at least
James Conner. I told you I was never a big fan of James Conner. He's a nice running back, nothing special, average, just average.
I agree, but I think, dude, the Bills, their offense is insane. I mean, they can run the ball enough. Josh Allen poses a threat as well for some. Defenses have to prepare for him. They got to spy him with the linebacker. They have a tandem running back duo that they, always have fresh legs in. Wide receiving core, Stephon Diggs just eats all day. It doesn't matter. He finds those 10 to 15 yard plays all the time. And I don't understand, because the thing when I was watching them play the Steelers is they don't give up a deep ball defensively, the Bills, and that's a lot of what like Tyreek Hill loves, for example.
Oh yeah.
And if you take that away, what are they doing to really
Travis
stretch
Kelce, man. Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
That dude is an animal, man.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
You can't. But then if you have a guy taking, if they don't give up the deep ball threat, and teams know that, and they're really not going to try unless Clyde Edwards-Helaire is having the game of his life, right? That's really the only way that they could really get a deep shot going. Then they know that they can really focus a ton on Travis Kelce. So I think they pose the best matchup is all my point. I think I would like to see that as the AFC Championship game. Based on seeding, I don't know how that's going to end up turning out. But if that's a dark horse that I could see, if you want to call them a dark horse, even though they're 10-3 right now, the best chance to knock off the Chiefs, them. I also like Derrick Henry in the running game against the Chiefs. I don't think they can do anything to him like many teams can't. And then really in the NFC, I think the I was going to call them by their former name, the Washington football team. I think they could give some people some problems. Their defense is legit. They might have to play the Seahawks, and look what the Seahawks did look what happened to them by the Giants at home.
Yeah.
What happened?
That was embarrassing. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, and that could easily happen to the Washington football team if they could go into Seattle. I think it'll end up being either Seattle or the Bucs that play them, because they're kind of fighting, and then it's the Cardinals fighting with the Vikings and Bears at this point. So I don't know. It's going to be a weird playoffs, but I think everybody kind of knows it's like the Patriots of old, assuming that they would make the Super Bowl with the Chiefs. Really makes me mad, though.
Yeah, I
like a little change.
Nah, as I said, my preseason predictions, Mahomes being MVP, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be him or Rodgers, but Mahomes.
Rodgers is gonna.
Rodgers might get it, dude.
He might throw 50 touchdowns this year, man. He might throw 50.
Yeah, if he throws 50 touchdowns, okay, he'll get MVP. But if that doesn't happen, I don't know, man. Just look at the records, man. Look at the records. 12-1. Pretty much
going to be
flawless, man. Pretty much flawless. But for me, man, KC, man, look at that AFC. Derrick Henry, like you said. King Henry with Ryan Tannehill with the freak A.J. Brown. Corey Davis, he got weapons on offense too, man. Especially the way to beat Mahomes, keep him off the field. So just run that ball, dominate time of possession, man. Just milk the clock as much milk you can, because you don't want that man on the field. He only takes one play, one Tyreek Hill play to blow out and get that easy touchdown, and just like shake your head as defensive coordinator. What can I do? You got Travis Kelce there. You got Tyreek Hill there. You got CEH in the passing game. You got Mahomes on the run. Mahomes creating time. My Lord, that team is just so beautiful to watch. as a Mahomes fanboy, let's go, baby. Let's get another Super Bowl because he's about to get into the GOAT conversation in his third year, man. Because you see what this guy's accomplished, man. What this man has accomplished in such a short amount of time. It is
Andy Reid, dude.
Incredible, man. Stop it. Andy Reid had Alex Smith, and they've always lost in the playoffs, man.
They were good.
Always lost. And you know what happened? They were the joke. They're like, oh, another Alex Smith season, another L, man. They're like, he's a nice QB. He had the same weapons, man.
Who beat them?
What?
Derrick Henry.
You think I care?
Alex Smith, that's who knocked him out both times, man.
I'm just saying, Alex Smith had multiple opportunities with this roster. Mahomes, as a second-year player, just comes on and takes over, and then they go toe-to-toe with the New England Patriots.
Right. No, I know. I agree. I'm saying Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, and I'm not saying he isn't. But I'm saying that he joined. Talk about the one of the biggest steals of all time in NFL draft. I think you can agree with me on that, Zoo.
Yes.
In Patrick Mahomes. But they built that team for a Patrick Mahomes. That is the perfect fit of all perfect fits. A guy that can throw any which way that Alex Smith could not.
Patrick Mahomes is a perfect fit with any NFL roster because he will make them 10 times better.
And so you do think that if he had joined like the Bears or something, they would have won. They would have won a Super Bowl by now?
I don't know about now, but they would be like perennial contenders. They would be like the Green Bay Packers.
They would have won the Super Bowl.
I don't know about winning Super Bowl, but they would have been in the conference championship.
That was the perfect place for him to go, Andy. That was literally
It was the perfect place. But if you gave Mahomes a defense and you have Allen Robinson as a weapon,
true.
Stop it.
And David Montgomery, man.
Oh, okay, he low-key having a good end of the year because he's playing against some shitty running back defenses. But yes, Mahomes in any situation would have been great. He's just amplified to GOATness right now.
But my point is he would not be in the GOAT status if it weren't for him joining the Chiefs over another team.
I'm just if you want a Super Bowl, he would be it.
Tom Brady with Belichick. It's the same type of thing.
No, absolutely different. Tom Brady needed Belichick. Patrick Mahomes
needed Reid.
He does not need Andy Reid.
Absolutely.
It's nice to have. He's the icing on the cake. It's delicious. Andy, I want it on there, but I don't need it.
Yeah, really? Why is since the Chiefs have been so good, why is every single other NFL team looking for a coach that has learned under Andy Reid's system?
Yep.
He's a good coach. I never say he was a good coach, but Mahomes is the reason that Mahomes
offensive system with the best offensive weapons, and that's what Mahomes wants.
Travis Kelce,
best tight end of all time.
He might go down as the best tight end of all time.
His stats are low key better than Gronk's.
And Tyreek,
it's not low key. They are
the fastest receiver of all time.
Yeah.
He's in the. That's why I say he's gonna start a dynasty. If he was on any other roster, I think he still would have won a championship.
You know, it's so.
He would have won a Super Bowl with any other franchise, man. Any other franchise.
No, because the Chiefs got lucky that they were only at he went 10th, if I don't remember exactly where he went, but he went 10th, right? But that's low. That was low for the Chiefs at the time. They got lucky falling down. It was almost not as bad because I know but it's almost like the Spurs getting Tim Duncan the first overall with David Robinson on your team. That was unfair. That's kind of what the Chiefs fell into. It's really what it was. They had a stacked team. All they needed was one guy, and Mahomes was the perfect fit for that, and he happened to fall to 10th. My God, dude, the Chiefs, they were praying to every single God in the universe that night that they got that, man. And he got to learn for a whole year.
I give you that. He learned.
I just thought of this. Do you think if Deshaun and Mahomes switches, you think Deshaun gets KC to the Super Bowl and Mahomes could get Texans? I
think they would be pretty close, man, because I think Deshaun Watson is a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. I think he might have been able to make a Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that kind of goes into P-Bush's point.
What? I know.
He just got smacked by the Bears that you've been shitting on all year.
Oh, I'm shitting on the offense, not the defense. I've always said the Chicago Bears defense.
Got 36.
Yeah,
Well,
that's not on Deshaun Watson. That's on the Texans defense.
I'm about to say,
if he's
they have
so
like
good,
an 80-year-old guy coaching the Texans right now, Romeo Cornell. Like I don't even know. Like every time they pan to him, he looks like he's in pain walking up and down the sideline. So, I don't know. I don't know if
I feel like he's going to drop. I feel like he's going to drop.
But I don't think
his old line sucks.
Yeah,
that's really it.
And then Brandon Cooks got a concussion. Will Fuller out with drug issues.
Yeah.
So these are things that Deshaun can't control. All his weapons are gone.
Be a leader. Your guys aren't doing dumb shit. I don't know. What? Make sure be a leader. If you're the quarterback, man, you got to be over.
I can't control what Will Fuller does in his off time. I can't control Brandon Cooks.
You should be hanging out.
What are you talking about?
Dude, Aaron Rodgers and watch Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and come back to me. And then you let me know. You got to, if you're going to have your number one receiver and you're signing this man, you're keeping him in for a while, you need to get a connection.
He did have one. His boy D-Hop got shipped out for Dick.
That was the worst move for the Texans.
Yeah, I'm just saying. The franchise has been screwing over this man over and over. I don't blame him.
But why do you think the Texans are boycotting him almost? By getting rid of everyone that he enjoys.
I don't know. The man got fired for being stupid, man.
Yeah.
You can't fix stupid people. You just fire them.
He thinks he's Bill Belichick Jr. and he's not. That's his problem. Bill Belichick is the only one that could get a bunch of lesser players and make them win. And I think a lot of this too. A lot of people don't understand. The Patriots were able to do, and I know if there's any Patriot fan that hears this, they're going to get pissed. But it's the Patriots, they kind of could afford to do stuff like make trades, get lesser players, do whatever, because the division they were in allowed them to them to do stuff like that. You can't. A lot of other coaches you can't. Especially with the Texans, you got with the Titans. Who else in that division? Jacksonville had a run where they were really good. The Colts, you can't just mix match. Bill O'Brien was trying to do that and outthink the room, and he just traded and I think a lot of that too. He was kind of pissed at DeAndre, but it doesn't matter. He's the star receiver, so you got to figure out and make it work. That's how I feel like the pros run. So it's for him doing that. Yeah, he deserves to be fired. He deserves to be fired for that.
Oh, absolutely, he deserved that. They were ass.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it goes to your point where you was talking about Andy Reid. I think if Deshaun was with Andy Reid and he had those weapons, they're probably going to the Super Bowl. And I think if Mahomes is with the Texans, I don't think he's carrying them. I just don't.
Right. So therefore, it comes down to the team in which they were drafted, which is my point.
Pretty much. That's what I think.
Exactly. So that's what it really comes down to. Because when you draft a young quarterback, how developed is your team already?
Yeah, pretty much.
And the Chiefs were arguably they were 95% of the way there. In every other aspect.
95%.
All right, I'm not saying Mahomes is only 5% of the team. You know what I mean? I'm just saying they needed one more guy and they were willing to take a risk, let him build, and then they realized how good he was. Obviously, they knew that he had a ton of talent, but nobody knew he was going to be going up for GOAT status.
Andy saw that. You got to give Andy credit for that too, because he could have got drafted. Yeah, and there's other teams that could have traded up for Mahomes,
but they didn't. They didn't give away their hand either, though.
Yeah,
if you notice, they knew they were we want this guy. We're not going to talk trades.
You know why they do? Because there's so many stupid teams in front of them passing up on a QB when they needed a QB. They saw the Chicago Bears. Mitchell. Come on, man. You guys gave the lottery tickets, man. You had a winning lottery ticket, and you gave it to the Chiefs. And you guys are homeless now, man. You guys aren't even going to make playoffs this year. I'm sorry. I gotta say it again. You guys ain't making it, man. You guys ain't making the wild card game. Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's so shameful, man.
Well, I've already given up on the whole. It's almost 4 years ago now. It's absurd.
How does that man have a job, man? How does that man have a job?
Who?
Ryan Pace.
Oh, he's got to be gone, dude. End of the year. Bears. I told you, Bears never fire or hire mid-year.
Okay. I don't know. Should be the thing. Got sent a message for stupidity.
Well, their president, Ted Phillips, is supposedly retiring after this year.
That's like a mutual firing, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
Some dignity. Let him quit.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's it kind of is unforgivable. I feel like we talk about that at the end of the podcast every week. But
It's so
yeah, I know. It's such, but I will say though, come on, man. Like Pat, like what quarterback is so hit or miss. Like
no.
Andy Reid knew what he was doing. But
about my story, man. I saw Michael Vick talk about Patrick Mahomes, and I was sold, man. And
Michael Vick
can identify talent that easily. Come on, Ryan Pace. Come on, stupidity.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a big blow, but I will say Patrick Mahomes.
It's the biggest.
I'm saying
Bears franchise history.
We can say that.
Sports history, man. You got Derrick Rose tearing his knees, and you got Ryan Pace passing up on the story. And Patrick Mahomes.
The 90s Bulls not trading Luol Deng for Kobe Bryant. That's easily the
what are you talking about? No. That's a misnomer, man. Kobe Bryant wanted Luol Deng on the roster. He didn't want him to go to another shitty team.
I thought he was going to go to Detroit.
No. Kobe Bryant was looking for a place in Chicago because he wanted to first trade. He wanted to play with Luol Deng to be his Scottie Pippen equivalent.
But the
Lakers wanted Luol Deng back. And Kobe was like, I ain't playing with trash again. Because he would have been playing with Kirk Heinrich and Chris Duhon. And that would have been atrocious, man.
Oh, God, that's a nasty combo to be playing.
That's a mid-2000s nasty
dude.
Andre Socioni.
Oh, man. PJ Brown.
Oh, my Lord. That was our starting power forward, man.
Oh, my God. Chicago sports have been a joke lately. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Kind of sad. White Sox are on the up and up, though.
Yeah.
Did the Cubs fire the guy? They fired that Epstein guy.
I thought he quit.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Oh,
they did.
They did fire. Dang.
Or he got let go. Or he left. I don't know. Chicago sports are in shambles right now.
That's crazy. He brought them. When they went the World Series in 2016.
4 years ago.
That's crazy.
4 years ago.
And now he's like that's nuts. Especially because they hadn't won forever.
He did his job.
Yeah,
he might be
brought them a
he really did.
Yeah, one, and you did your job as a general manager.
Yeah. And you might have to say he might be like one of the GOAT GM or managers, because you got to think like he left the Red Sox. They're crap now, and the Cubs. Like I guess I don't know what they did last year, but they wasn't as good as they were in 2016. So I don't know. I guess wherever he goes next, he might be starting a new era of them winning. I don't know. But
yeah, it seems everybody leaves and does better in Chicago sports. Everyone's always up and out, so it's rough, man.
Yeah, but I think a lot of franchises could have, I guess, their sob stories of how bad their ownership has been.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I have a best friend that's like a Cleveland fan and everything,
and he got a title.
But that's kind of like. It just was like, okay, yeah, you get the title, but then like the guy that got you the title goes to LA to get like it stings more because then it's like that guy that was doing all that, he's now
Be grateful. I've been waiting
I guess so.
With the Chicago Bulls, man. I ain't dying until they win a title. I ain't dying. I'll stay alive at least one. If I get one title, I'll be happy for the rest of my life as a Bulls fan.
You better add that on your will, Zeus, so nobody pulls. Yeah.
That's fair.
Oh my goodness. It's gonna be a while.
But as always, we end it with a NFL topic. Got a lot of great discussion off of that. We're getting ready for the holidays coming up. We're going to start putting more content out. Doing a lot of stuff for the page. Make sure you guys follow bullheaded_pod, Instagram, on Twitter, posting daily content, everything we talk about. We'll start trying to get some more clips of us with the video chat up there so you can see our faces and things like that. And as always, my name is Sean. It's Zoo and P. Bush. We out.